Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we are trying to check with some of the object information here. Like we created the category and we created item class. So as well as we created some of the user and address classes we created. So let me go back to the address class here. We need to fill some of the properties here. Okay, we fill the properties also. Okay, back to here. Now today we are going to discuss here the mapping information. So to discuss this particular mapping information, what I am going to do, first I am going to create with this particular category. So inside this particular category class, so we'll have a different properties here. So we'll try to focus on this particular different properties here. So how exactly the different properties are going to work here. So to understand here, first what we need to do, we need to create the name of the file here. And inside this particular configuration file, go back to the other. So here we need to work on the XML. And we need to specify the model class name. Here we need to work on the particular model class called category.hbm.xml. Okay, let me finish this particular file, and I want to copy this particular DTD file. Otherwise, we can copy all information. So this we already identified here. So what is the use of this particular DTD? And let me change the name of this particular class here, something called Hibernate. So we need to change the category. So we are going to specify the fully class name here and table name here. And what is the table we are going to create? Something called category. And we need to identify inside this particular category. So what we are having here. So we don't have an ID, and we need to specify the ID property here. So let me add long ID, and so generate setup and getter for this particular ID. Okay. So go back to this particular column call ID, and we need to change to category ID. And so here we can specify the type. If you are interested here, we can specify the type also. The data type we can specify here. So what is exactly the data type we are having? Something called we are having long here. Right. So if you are not specifying this particular type also, what happens internally? Based on this particular name field, what is the name of the field we are specifying here? So the particular name field, what is the data type it's having? The same data type is going to use. Along with the particular, if the data type is not available, so what is the nearest relative database which is applicable to this particular database? So which is going to use here, right? So these are the information we need to understand when we are working with this particular ID. And previously we worked with the increment here. So now I'm trying to move to the native here. So basically, this is the three combination of another generator classes here. So we'll understand here how exactly the native is going to work. So after completion of this particular simple example here. Okay. So we'll have a difference between increment and native. So after completion of this particular mapping file, we are going to discuss here. Okay. After this, so what are the properties we are having? The first properties we already identified here, something called name. Right. And the column also, I want to specify something called category underscore name. Here, what is the type we are having? So the type we are having here something called string. And so as of now, we are not going to work with this particular many-to one. So we have a more information on this particular many-to one because so we are having many-to-many relations and internally so one-to-many relations. We are having internally one-to-many relations also because in the category class we are having one parent category and child category. So we'll discuss more on this particular parent category and child category. So how we can define inside this particular mapping file. So back to here, now what I'm doing here. So I want to work with this particular mapping information, getting the point. So you can see, so basically what I want to do, here I want to specify this. So one more description, okay. So let me add one more property here, something called description here. So the category description I'm trying to add here. So whenever I'm trying to add this particular category description here, so let me generate for this particular setters and getters. Okay. Observe. Now we added one more column into this particular category. So we need to add the same property into this particular mapping file. So what is the name of the property we are having? Something called description. Okay. Now observe here the name of the property we defined here. So same way we are having the option here. So what is the option we are having? Something called column attribute. So using this particular column attribute, we can specify this. So what exactly the column we want to create inside this particular category table. Same way we are having the one more option. So let me add here something called. So this is the column attribute, and we can specify this particular type also. So string. Along with this, internally, so inside this particular property tag, we are having one column attribute here. So carefully observe, we are having the column tag here. Using this particular column tag, we can specify here. So using this, we can specify like what is the name of the column we are trying to create inside this particular category table. Getting the point. So instead of moving into this particular column attribute here, what we can do? So we can provide this particular column element here to understand more flexibility here. Getting the point. So we can define two ways here. So using this particular column attribute, or we can specify this particular column element here. Using this particular column element here. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular column element, so we can work on the more flexibility because so using this, if we want to make any additional changes, we can have. So using this particular column attribute, we don't have that much scope here. Getting the point. So these are so one more way to we can define this particular, so the description property information. And along with this, we are having the one more option here. We can check with not null constraint here. So while creating this particular category object here, some properties information we want to make as a required properties. So those properties not available, or if you are, while saving into the database without those properties here, so we want to get some constraints information here. So how we can make using this particular mapping file here. And here we are having the one more option here. So inside this particular column here, not null constraint. So by default it is making as a false. So we can make as a true here. Getting the point. So what exactly it will do this particular not null here? While saving the object of this particular category without this particular description here, we are going to get some constraint exception here because we are having some required property here. So using this particular not null, we can make so what is the required property or not. And so along with this, we are having, like, we can control the particular insertion and updation of this particular properties here. So how exactly we can control this particular insertion and updation here? Observe, I want to add this particular, the name of this particular column. We identified here the column and type. So along with this, what I'm doing here, I want to provide insert here. By default it is true. So you can see here, by default it is true. So now we can make false here. So it is not going to perform any insertion and insertion operations here. So when we are making this particular false here, what happens internally? So which is not going to save the data when we are trying to insert in any query here. Getting the point. So using this particular insert, we can control this particular properties. And same way, we are having update here. Now you can observe update true. By default, so insert and update this particular column, the column called name, which is going to applicable here. But what we are doing here, we are making as a false here. So that when we are trying to work with the insertion and updation here, this particular name is not going to insert, or any this particular name column is not going to update here. So this is also one way to make some conditions here and FLC false. Right. So these are the some of the attributes so that we can work on this particular properties here with some consent here. Along with this, so we can work with class level here. So if we are working with property level, so this is applicable to the each property here. But if we want to work with this particular entire, what are the properties we are having in the class? So what we can do, we are having one option here at the class level. So using this particular class level, we can make it here. Basically, if the class is totally is immutable, so immutable is nothing but once the class is created, so we don't want to change the data, like either inserting a query or is updating the query here. Getting the point. So sometimes what happens here, whatever the data we created here, we don't want to change here, or we can call it as we don't want to modify here. So basically, how we are going to modify? Using this particular insert query or update query. But here, using here, so get query, we are not going to modify the data. Just we are trying to load the data, whatever the data is available inside this particular table here. Right. So we are having an option to make the restriction of this particular immutable object here. What we can do? So dynamic insert here. So you can observe by default these are the dynamic insert false and dynamic insert. So dynamic insert and dynamic update both are false here. So when we are making these two as a true, what happens internally? So the immutable object, so if we are trying to save an object information, so those objects are not going to updated or not going to inserted here. So these are the simple property we can use here. So I want to make false. So we'll observe by making the true later here. So we can observe, just for understanding here, I'm trying to explain here. So what exactly is the attribute and what is the purpose of this particular attribute here. And same way, naming convention here. So sometimes what happens here, if you are not specifying this particular table or any this particular column information. Getting the point. So based on the real-time application here, based on the application name or based on the company name or based on the project what we are trying to develop here. So what we are going to do internally, we are going to create the tables here. So this we are going to call as a naming convention here. So here what we can do, when we are trying to work with this particular Hibernate mapping file, so here we can specify the naming convention. So the naming convention here is something called, so we are trying to work with any, so as we discussed alien application here, something called AR. So AR underscore category, AR underscore user, AR underscore billing address, AR underscore item. Getting the point. So instead of defining the naming convention of the each mapping file here, what we can do? So we are having an option here. Getting the point. So what is the option we are having? Something called So naming strategy. So this, using this particular naming strategy interface here, what we can do, we can implement this particular interface. We can provide. So what is a naming convention we want to create for the table name and column name? So you can observe we are having the table name and column name. By overriding this particular method here, whatever the methods we are having, these are the methods here. So property column name here, class 2. So what is the property we are going to take into name of the property and the table name and the column name. So by overriding these two, the table name and the column name, so what happens internally? So based on this particular naming strategy, the table is going to change with whatever the naming convention we are going to work here. Getting the point. So basically, so simply we are going to refine this particular naming convention here. So just understanding I am trying to write. When we are trying to override, so this particular naming convention here, what we are going to do? Internally, we are going to append this particular AR here. So internally, we are going to work with this particular AR, and here we are going to specify the particular class name, because you can see, so which is expecting the name of the table, here. So by specifying this particular name of the table here, what we are doing internally, we are appending the project information here. So for example here, we want to append this particular AR underscore here, we can append here. And after appending here, again we are going to return this string here, because the table name which is trying to return string data type here. Or we can work with the column name. So column also same thing. Getting the point. So this interface is important here, naming strategy. Using this particular interface, we can override and we can work on this particular classes and the naming like hybrid mapping information. So observe here, we are having the like a method called class to the table name here. So what exactly it is doing here? So basically, this class to table name is going to call, this particular class to table method is going to call. So when this particular class attributes does not specify any table name here. So carefully observe here, basically inside this particular class tag, inside this particular class element here, if we don't have the explicit table information, this particular table information, then only the class to table name is going to call, and once it is called here internally, the table name method is going to call. Same way, the property to column name here, if this particular property is we did not define this particular column attribute here, so then which method is going to call? Property to column name method is going to call. Getting the point. So we'll have a simple example. Let me implement this particular class here. Inside the Hibernate package here, class called custom name, table and column name. So custom table and column name. Here, so we can provide, like we can create a class and later we can implement here and observe. So naming strategy, I want to override all the methods here. Observe, we are having these many methods here. So around 10 methods we are having here. Right. So we'll try to focus on the around 3-4 methods here, so that we are going to have more information on this particular. So how this particular naming strategy is going to work. And class to table name here, what I want to do, I want to return here by calling this particular table name. By calling this particular table name here, so table name, which is expecting one parameter here. So what exactly this parameter is expecting here? And so what we can do? So basically, simply I want to provide here two uppercase. So here what I'm doing is, internally I'm trying to call table name. So this particular table name is going to call. Same way, we want to call this particular property name. For this particular property, we don't want to make any changes here. Just simply we want to make uppercase here. Cutting the point. Just we want to make uppercase here. Back to your this particular table name. So what I want to do here, I want to provide appending here. So what is how exactly we are going to append here? So AR plus this particular table name. So this is the way we can return this particular table name. And so what is the column we are going to get? The same thing I want to return here. And property 2. So this particular table, collection table name, join key, foreign key, logical collection table name, collection. So we don't want to make any these many changes here. Here, so you can observe carefully collection table name here, owner entity, and some collection related information, join key, foreign key. So if you want to change to the join key or primary key, so these are the different methods. So we don't want to use this particular different methods here. So now we understand this particular naming strategy. So how exactly which is going to create. So you can change whatever you want to provide here. You can change whatever you want to provide, but only the difference here. So if you are not working on this particular table section, if you are not working on this particular table section, which is going to work. So to understand here, what we can do, we can work with this particular mapping here, something message mapping here. So I don't want to work on this particular mapping here. And we'll have the same example here. Where is the main class? And okay, so we need to open the Hibernate properties here. So create hyphen drop here. Because I want to create one more time. And here, so let me make this particular section as a comment. So again, I'm trying to run the same message information. So we need to understand here how this particular table is going to create. Because so we implemented the particular naming convention information here. No, actually, so let me check this particular table information here, how this particular table is created. So message ID, next to message ID, message text. So basically, the table is not proper. We want to change here Hibernate to DDL auto create all. So I'm expecting first that table is going to drop here. No, the table is not dropping here. So direct insert we are getting here. Select message ID, insert. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll try to drop from manually. Okay, so table is not there. Select to message text. But in our configuration file, okay, sorry. Sorry, actually, we need to change here. What to? Because we are having two information. So the same mapping file we use here, message.hvm file, here also we use. But because of this particular add entity, sorry, add class here, so where this particular file is going to load, from there, within the same package, where this particular model classes are available. Okay. And let me run one more time here. So we need to understand here whether this particular table is going to modify or not. Oracle operation. Select dot max ID and text here we are getting max ID. So why we are not getting with capital letters? So let me try ID text. But what we are expecting, so capital letters, and the table also it needs to change it with sorry, here I missed to add in the main file. I want to add one information. So set naming setup. Here we need to specify our class. I forgot to add this particular class here. So let me try one more time, because we need to add this particular information. Then only Hibernate will understand here. We are trying to work with the custom creation of the table name as well as column name. Okay. So still not getting custom table column name. We created same thing. Okay. So we'll have a breakpoint here. We'll observe whether it is calling or not. Okay. So this is not calling here. Okay. So now we are moving into naming strategy. So what we are going to do. Okay. So this object is created. What happens in the number? So now you can observe when we are trying to move on to this particular build session factory. So these many information is going to generate here. So these are the setting factory because of when we're calling this particular build session factory. So the debug information we are able to see and the transaction code. Insert into text. Okay. So which is not calling here. Why it is not calling? So let me check here from the way it is trying to load. Because I removed in the both location the mapping information, name ID, message, cascade all. So we'll try to remove this also. Okay. Text will have an auto ID. Okay. So we'll understand regarding this example. Basically, it has to call this particular class here. So naming strategy we are implementing this. Okay. So I will debug why it is not calling. I mean, I will update you regarding this particular naming status information. So back to here, we want to discuss the more information here, the schema related information here. So how exactly this particular schema is going to work? How exactly this particular schema, so which is going to work here? So to understand this particular schema, basically in the real-time applications here, so we are going to create a multiple schemas here. So to understand based on the schema, so we are going to create the multiple tables in the each schema base here. So how exactly we can work on this particular schema information? So that's we are going to discuss here. To create this particular schema, first what we need to do. So inside this particular mapping file, we are having an option to provide the schema. So here we'll have a schema. Carrying the point. So here also we can specify, right? So when we are trying to specify this particular schema information, what we need to do? We need to specify those information inside this particular Hibernate configuration file also. So the Hibernate configuration file here, what we can do, Hibernate dot, so default schema. So here we can specify the name of the schema. In the real-time application, we are going to create a more than one schema. So that we'll understand here some of the tables are related to one schema and some of the tables are related to another schema. Getting the point. So based on the project information, we'll create a different schema here. So when we are trying to create a schema, inside the schema, so we are going to create the tables here. So as of now, we don't have any schema. But where these particular tables are creating here, internally, we are going to have public schema here. you can observe, so this is our database. Now you can see schemas here. So this is our public schema, and inside this particular public schema, we are having the table called message. When we are trying to create another schema, so that will comes under this particular section here. Carrying the point. So we'll try to create a schema, one more. So create a new schema here, something called I want to work with the airline. Carrying the point. So let me refresh here. So here we are having the airline. Internally, so every time this schema is not going to create, because if every time it's going to create here, so again, basically in the real-time application, we are going to create more than one table here. So each and every table, we want to create it one more time here. So once, like when we are trying to develop the initial phase only, we'll create a schema, and later the same schema we are going to reuse when we are trying to work with the new model classes here. When we are trying to create a new model classes here, the existing schema we are going to provide here. So simple understanding here, airlines here. So now you can check here. As of now, we don't have any tables inside this particular schema. So back to here, I want to add this particular schema information here. Right. And let me provide this particular schema. And the same way, here also, I want to specify this particular schema information. So this is also an important section we are discussing here. So back to here, this particular where we define this particular category. Here we are having an action called I want to provide airlines here. So we'll try to understand here how this particular category object is going to create inside the particular schema called airlines here. Right. So now we want to understand here. So instead of creating this particular package name with this particular package name at the class level here. So when we are trying to work with more than one class here, what happens internally? So we need to recreate this particular package information here. So we need to recreate this particular package information. So instead of doing this particular package information, now what I am going to do? So at the Hibernate mapping level, so at this particular Hibernate mapping level here, we are having an option called package. Here we are having an option called package here. So we can specify so what exactly this particular package will contain here. So up to this section we can define at the package level, and we can define this particular class name here. We can define this particular class name. So how many classes we are going to create here? We don't want to provide the particular package name one more time here. So this is a common place to define the package name. So directly we can work on this particular category section. So this is also important here. Instead of defining multiple locations, so we can work with in the single location here. Right. After this, what we are going to do, and we'll try to check with the generator statuses here. So basically, they're having the different types of generators here. So what are the different types of generators here? So we identified increment here. So what exactly this particular increment will contain? Getting the point. So basically, which is going to provide the primary key value with the one incremented value. So in the previous example, when we are trying to discuss with this particular message here, so we use the generator class, something called increment here. Getting the point. So first, what exactly it is doing here? It will try to load the maximum value of this particular primary key, and based on this particular maximum value of this particular primary key, so what it's doing internally, and it's going to add one value so that the incremented value and is going to add into the newly recorded here. So whatever the newly record we are trying to create here, So with the help of this particular increment here, the incremented value is going to add it into the particular primary key. So in our example here, ID. So here we are trying to work with this particular message ID. So here, the user, we are not providing anything here. Getting the point. As a user or as a developer, we are not providing the primary key value dynamically here. So automatically the primary key value is going to increment it based on the max value of this particular primary key. So this is the behavior of this particular increment here. Right. So back to here, in the category, we are trying to work with the native here. So what exactly, so this particular native is going to work? Basically, native is a combination of this particular identity, sequence and Helio. So this is a combination of this particular identity. So let me add here. Here I want to write here. So let me add here because this is the combination of identity. So sequence here. Sequence and Helio. Right. So these are the other generator strategies here. So these are the different type generator classes here. So these are the when we are trying to make this particular generator class as a native. So the native is going to check. First is going to check with the identity. If this particular identity is available, so it's going to work on this particular identity. And if it is not available, it's going to move on to the sequence here. And Helio. So we'll try to work on this particular identity. So what exactly this particular identity will do? Basically, this kind of this particular identity generator, so which is going to support the different types of databases here. And DB2, MySQL and MS SQL Server, Oracle. So different types of database is going to support here. And so which is going to provide the return type of this particular value. Getting the point. So what exactly this value will contain here, the value is going to provide here. And basically here, so what I want to explain here regarding this particular identity, so this basically this is the database dependency here. Right. So this is not related to Hibernate specific here. So based on this particular database, so what is the database we are going to work here? So for understanding here, in case we are trying to work with this particular Postgres database here, what it will do? This particular ID value which is going to generated by the database here, not by the Hibernate here. And here the increment is going to taken care by the Hibernate. But initial value which is going to taken care by the Hibernate here. So when we are trying to work with this particular, so the instead of native here, if I am trying to work with identity, what happens internally? So it's going to check with the Hibernate. So whether this particular Postgres database generating the value or not. So which value is going to generate? The primary key value which is going to generate by the database. And once it is generated, so based on the generation, the Hibernate is going to increment the value. So whatever the existing value we are having, based on that Hibernate is going to increment here. Right. So initially, so which is giving an option to generate the primary key value to Hibernate here. And so these are about this particular identity, and we'll try to focus on the sequences. So how exactly this particular sequence is going to work? Because so these are the combination of the native generator here. And so basically this is also one of the similar to the increment generator, and only the difference is first is going to generate the value by the database, and here Hibernate is going to use the max ID of this particular primary key value, and later which is going to increment the value. Same way how this particular increment is happening. So first it will try to load the max value of this particular primary key, and later which is going to increment to one value. Same exactly the behavior is going to identify the identity. Back to here, this particular sequence here. So sequence also, this particular database dependent here. So this is not the Hibernate dependent here. So this is the specific to the each database here. So what exactly this is going to do? And this particular sequence is not going to use for all the databases here. So we need to understand here whether this particular generator is going to supported by the database or not. For this particular Postgres database, the sequence is going to supported here. And here, so while inserting this particular new record into the database here, what happens internally? The first Hibernate is going to load the next value of the sequence here. The next value of this particular primary key, right? So whatever the next value we are going to get, the value is going to assign into this particular primary key. Most of the times here, what happens internally? So as a developer here, we are going to work with the sequences by running the one query here. So we'll try to focus on this particular sequence here. Basically, in the real-time applications here, we are going to run with the sequence here. The sequence every time, which is going to incremented by one. And what happens internally, we need to provide the sequence information because so we are going to have different types of the sequences here. Each sequence will contain one unique name here. So before inserting the data into this particular any database here, what happens? The Hibernate is going to call the sequence here. So how exactly the Hibernate is going to call? So to understand here, so I'm going to see this particular message information here. So now you can see, you can observe here. Here we are having the sequences here. In the left side section, we can identify here the sequence information. So you can see these are the columns, and do you have any constants here? We are having the one constant here, primary key constants here. So we don't have any foreign. Okay, we are having the because so we are having one-to-one relation, right? So because of this, we are having the foreign key, and you can see so indexes, triggers. Uh, Okay, here we don't have. So here we can check with the sequences here. So here, as of now, we don't have any sequences here. So we can create the sequence here with the reference of the sequence name. When we are trying to provide this particular sequence, what happens internally? Hibernate is going to call. So whatever the sequence name we are going to create here. Getting the point. So based on this, so we are going to provide the sequence information here. So to understand here, I want to provide how exactly the sequence is going to look like here. So these are about before loading this particular browser, we'll try to check with another one and Helio. So how exactly this particular Helio is going to work? So basically, this particular Helio is a database independent here. So which is going to work any database here. Getting the point. So this particular Helio generator, which is going to work by the any database here, and here the first value that this particular generator is going to return by the one, and the second record the value will be inserted as some different value. Getting the point. So basically, what happens internally? This particular Helio generator, which is going to have some static values here. So those static values are going to inserted here. So the first one we are going to get as a 1 here, and the second one, when we are trying to insert the second record here, what happens internally? So sequence in PostgreSQL. So to create this particular sequence here, what we need to do? So we want to check here. Now you can see, so create a sequence here, name of the sequence here. Getting the point. So this sequence is created. When this particular sequence is created here, so what happens internally? So we need to understand here, the sequence of the is going to generate it. So here I want to provide the increment value. Basically, I'm trying to find out the increment value. So now you can see, create a table called employee test here. What we are doing here? Employee ID. So employee ID is nothing but one column, and data type here something called int s, and so this is the default value. So how we are getting the default value? With the reference of this particular next value. And you can observe what we are doing here. This is a sequence reference here. This is the particular sequence here. So what exactly it will do internally, which is going to return the next value of this particular sequence here. Next value of this particular sequence here. So in the real-time application, the sequence is going to start from the 1, and which is going to end by something called, so around 5 nines or 6 nines here. Around 5 nines or 6 nines here. So it's going to look like this. So first value, which is going to start by 1, and the max value. So like we are going to specify. With the help of this particular max value, what happens internally? Up to this particular sequence is going to run. So when this particular sequence is reached here, what happens here? So again, new sequence we need to create here with the help of this particular one. Right. So these are about the sequence information, because we identify the particular syntax creation here. How exactly this particular syntax is going to create here. So now you can check here. So next value, current value, set value, last value. So these are the properties of this particular sequence here. So using this particular sequence, we can set the values here. If we want to find out the next value, what we can do, so sequence dot next value. What is the current value if we want to find out? Current sequence dot current value. So set value, if we want to set any value, sequence dot set value. Same way, last value. Right. So this is the way the sequence is going to create. So basically, the sequence are going to created by the database developers here. But just for understanding here, we are going to work here. So now we understand here how this particular sequence is working internally. And back to you, this particular Helio. So as I explained here, this particular generator is Helio is a database independent here. So we can work with any database here. So what is the first value this particular Helio generator is going to return? Something called 1. And what about this particular second record? So this particular second, we are having the second value here, something called 32,768. Right. So this is the second value. When we are trying to insert the second record, so this value we are going to get here. And the same way, for the next record, this particular ID is going to incremented by this particular 32,768 here. Again, so the previous value and current value with a reference of this particular two values here. So we are going to get one bigger value. Those values is going to generated in stored into the primary key column here. So now in the real-time application, we are not going to get in, we are not going to use this particular Helio data generator class here. Getting the point. So most of the time we'll work with the identity or sequence here. So we understand here how this particular identity. So identity is nothing but is a like it's going to work same like a Hibernate increment here, but the initial value is going to generated by the database here. So sequence we identified here. Same way back to here, this particular native here. So native is a combination of this particular 3. Right. So these are about the generators here. So these are the very important generator information we are trying to discuss here. So any questions regarding this particular generators here? Okay, so if you don't have anything here, what I want to do, and same way we are having already I explained in the previous classes here. So if you're not interested with the default generated information, so what we can do, we are having one interface called so identify generator. So using this particular identify generator, we can try to work on the custom value generation here. So custom primary key value generation here. Getting the point. So along with this, so we are having one more so generator, something called assigned here. So assigned is a one more generator strategy here, and what exactly which is going to use for the natural primary key is getting the point from the natural primary key. So we are going to work this particular assigned here. Basically, so we are going to work with in the upcoming classes here something called detached object and transitive object here. So what exactly the detached object and transitive object will contain here? So now you need to understand here. So when we are trying to work with a detached object and a transitive object here, so this particular generator called assigned. So it's not going to play very important role here. So we are going to get some disadvantages here when we are trying to work with detached and transitive here. So what exactly this particular detached and transitive will contain? We'll try to focus on the now upcoming classes here because we are going to discuss with so life cycle of this particular object here. Right. So in the maybe in upcoming classes we are going to discuss here. Just for understanding, I'm trying to share this information. So when we are trying to work with the generator class called assigned here. So we are having one more here. So this is the one more generator class here. Getting the point. But we need to understand in the which scenario we can work here. So which is going to work same like this particular native here, but only the difference is when we are trying to work with a detached or transitive object here, we are going to get a disadvantages here. So this is I want to provide here, and so in tomorrow we are going to discuss with some basically what happens internally. We are going to create a more classes and more tables here. So instead of creating the more classes and tables here, what we can do. So the simple example I want to share here. So the user can contain home address and billing address here. The properties are same here. Setting the point. So the properties are same like something called so state and city and zip code and everything. The columns same, but the values we are going to provide the differently. But now what we need to understand here. So instead of creating more classes here, so how exactly we can work with this kind of problems here. Right. So we are having one option here to work on this particular class. So we are going to work with the component here using this particular component. So we are going to create this particular section information here. Let me provide. So now you can see here we are going to have component here. So you can see using this particular component here, we are going to have the name of the component and which is going to expecting something called so insert or access class. So what exactly which class is we are trying to focusing here and insert and update. So we are going to discuss more on this particular component in our tomorrow class. So because we are trying to focus on more on this particular Hibernate mapping here. So once we are familiar with this particular Hibernate mapping here, we are trying to focus on the remaining classes information because in the yesterday class we created multiple classes here. Category, item, user, address. Right. So I want to provide the more information on this particular Hibernate mapping and later we'll try to work with the remaining the item and so remaining example here. Okay. So any questions regarding our today's session except this particular name strategy because I want to check here why it is not working. So basically, so the methods are not calling here. I need to do some R&D on this particular naming strategy. So I will update you tomorrow regarding this. Okay, if you don't have anything here, we'll try to continue tomorrow. So remaining information